Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of my DDO free-to-play guide. We're going to be joining basically where we left off. I haven't done anything else since I posted my last video. This is a reminder that we have points to spend. Just wait for the game to load everything. Sometimes takes a second. Yep. City regeneration. Okay, so now, if you haven't got any money at this point, you didn't get a nice roll to afford a hireling, then you can skip this point. But for me, I'm going to be buying a cleric hireling so that I can run this next quest on a harder difficulty. Clerics are a class that will help heal you plenty. Very useful to have as a hireling. They're pretty much the only ones I buy. You can get fighters and other things though if you are a cleric, as well as spellcasters. So if you talk to Kaja Data here, she'll send you on this quest. You can see the quest entrance is a flashing door. You enter, and this is a difficulty selection. It seems that we're confined to playing on normal at the moment, as I haven't run these quests before, and we're not a VIP. So we're going to have to run this on normal.
Coming from deep in the crypt,
Don't know if we need this now.
You hear the strange and unsettling echoes that Kaya spoke of. And by the passage leading in, a grim-faced man glares at you.
Now, this is a panel for your hireling which will let you completely control them. What I clicked on when I opened it is basically this button here allows them to think for themselves. They will do actions they think are necessary, like heal you, fight enemies, if you have it on this. If you set it to the shields, they're really only thinking about defending you, with not much care for their own life. I usually stick to the swords. As well, you can force them to heal you, you can set them so they don't move, you can click them around to teleport to you, you can get them to interact with doors and locks and things with this button. So all very useful. She has Nimbus of Light so she can hurt enemies with her spell. Quite handy to have around. We're not really going to need her for this quest, but she's here. Okay, and what I did is double click the contract. They are 60 minutes each, and they will be active and running out anytime you're in a quest, whether you're using them or not. So it's useful to know that.
Strange. Sarcophagi line the wall. You notice something strange
Picked
about
up something
the wall
already?
to the west. If you search, you found some kind of secret door in the wall. Once you open it,
Now,
you can reach whatever's behind it.
when you're in a quest, you can click on the XP tab. It'll show you everything you need to know about the adventure, such as how much XP you get, what streaks you have, who's killed what you've discovered. Doing certain things will give you an increase to XP. So for example, breakables. If you break enough of these things, it will gradually give you a ransack bonus, which gives you 15% to your total XP for the quest, which is considerable, as well as getting all the nice loot from the breakables. So you'll see me doing that a lot. As well, it'll have an onslaught bonus if you kill everything or most monsters in the quest. It'll give you a bonus for unlocking all the doors in the quest, finding all the doors, unlocking traps, so pretty much everything will feed into that. The recall button is if you're in a quest and you've died, or you finish a quest and you want to exit, you click recall. It'll be release if you've died. I don't want to do that. If you find the map up here, this will show you the in-game map of the dungeon. I'm going to make it smaller. I usually have it open if it's a complex dungeon, just in the corner. We don't really need to here. Chat tab I didn't show you last time. This will be your party if you're playing with others, and just general commentary on the quest if you're not will be in general, such as my hireling saluting me. So anyway, let's stop wasting time. Smash all the urns. And the sarcophagi. It seems a bit cruel, but
There's something odd on a chest. It's out in the open and unprotected. And that's probably what the dead cultist by the chest thought.
our spot has found a trap.
The trap here is set to spray acid onto whoever approaches the chest. But you've disconnected the trap's firing mechanism. The
There are more
chest
traps.
is safe to approach now.
No, it's not. This is curious. It's detecting a trap. I think that was a glitch. So we've disabled the trap. And you can see we're getting some nice loot from these chests. That's handy to have. Mage Arm will buff you out more. Vitality Robe we're not really going to need as a rogue yet. Maybe as a wizard. This gate is locked. Not sure what that does exactly. There is another trap. I just don't know where.
A treasure chest glimmers in this passage. There may be something of use inside. What were those cultists
These are
up to?
optionals. These are just optional starter weapons.
This heavy mace is a bludgeoning weapon, ideal for smashing apart
says?
skeletons. Their bones are resistant to puncturing or slashing weapons. In the middle of this chamber is an evil
Just want to kill this thing and destroy the altar before it summons dead.
A Sahuagin rumbles.
For generations,
The Sahuagin's plan must have been to use these devourer. A magical crest appears from the destroyed altar. If you take it with you,
Find the crest.
it may be
Pick it up.
useful later.
You can check if it's in there.
You continue to hear cultists about their evil work from further inside the crypt.
Now you'll notice that when I did that, I got a little XP bonus come up. It was an optional, so optionals will be in the quest if you do things that aren't necessary for completing the quest, but you choose to do anyway. It'll give you some bonus XP sometimes. So like that one, I stopped it resurrecting whoever that is, Bjorn Hayton, and it gave me a bonus for that. So if you rush into there and you destroy the altars fast enough, you'll get that bonus in this quest. It's kind of pitiful XP, but if you do it over time, it adds up. Can see more people. I meant to be stopping them from desecrating the tomb, but I'm going to do exactly that.
A magical barrier blocks the way, and behind it, another Sahuagin performs unholy rituals at a devourer altar.
Now those are the
This barrier appears
shrines I
linked
mentioned
to
last time.
3 sockets in the wall. If you find the crests to those sockets, it may allow you passage.
So we need to navigate and find the 3 quests to unlock the door. Should be quite simple.
There's another Sahuagin. It croaks.
Crag Wolf Hayton, in life you served the light, but in death
I wasn't fast
you
enough
shall
to get that
serve
one.
the devourer.
As you can see,
These
it's resurrected.
devourer altars will create a blight of undead upon Korthos. Another crest drops out as you smash the altar.
So,
There might
like I said
be
last
other
time, you use
altars
Q to
elsewhere
select
in
things
this
around you.
crypt.
That's what I generally do if I want to pick things up. I just hit Q and it'll select the only item around, which is this. It just makes it easy to pick up. Not essential, but you can also right click on whatever it is in your vision and it'll select it, like I do with her, for example. But yeah, makes things easier.
As you slay
Another
these
optional.
foul cultists, take care. A treasure
don't
chest
want that loot.
glimmers in the dark passage here.
Usually you won't get these constant
There's a Sahuagin in
comments from the dungeon
performing
master,
some
but
kind of
for these
ritual.
starter quests she will give you
Come,
an unfortunate
dead
amount of
son
advice.
Korthos, rise and do my...
The altar
Also wasn't
glows
fast
with
enough.
dark power, and the Sahuagin continues. The Sahuagin were using this vile device. When the altar collapses, a 3rd crest appears. It glows with cold magic.
Blah blah blah. So now we can go to where the sockets were for these crests. You'll find that's a common trope in quests in this game. You'll have to collect keys or crests to access other rooms, which will be the end room, or so on and so forth, so you can progress in the quest. There are also floor puzzles you need to solve to get through. None of the puzzles in this game are incredibly complicated. There are some that you have to search up the guides for because they just don't make any sense.
You fit the last crest
Yeah.
in place,
We've
and the
made it.
magic shield dissipates. The Sahuagin inside spits out in a
Destroy the
venomous
altar.
voice.
These fools who would keep...
The last devourer
go.
altar shatters. Your bold actions saved Korthos and brought the Sahuagin's fell scheme to naught.
End
The
chest.
treasure chest in the antechamber is now yours.
What do we get? Nice, we got a buff to our strength stat and some dodge, which is helpful as a rogue. I thought I should mention the reason I'm not spending my enhancement points, which I now have 2 of, is because I want to spend those points in the wizard enhancement trees. And as we haven't taken a level of wizard yet, we only have access to the rogue enhancement trees, which I'm not going to be spending any points in. So that's why I'm saving them for now. If you're not playing my character, you spend them however you want. It's just what I'm doing. So now that we've got everything, we can finish and recall. There'll be a bar there. It will be interrupted if you're shot by something, so you want to be in a safe space to recall. And it will teleport you back to your public area. Go hand it in to this lady we picked it up from. Alright, and she'll give you optional rewards. You only get one of these. And for this, we're going to go with the concentration, as the other one is just going to make us
Some of the braver
weaker.
villagers tried to stem the Sahuagin tide, but their courage led to naught but grievous injuries. Korthos needs someone with more than just guts.
It's an interesting name. Alright, now that we've done that, we have unlocked a series of quests we can do in the town. There's an optional quest there, a quest there, and another quest you can pick up in a bit. Doing these optionals unlocks the Korthos arc, basically. So there's a series of quests in this village you can do if you do these optionals first. We will be doing some of them. I'm not going to cover all of the Korthos Island quests because I prefer Keep on the Borderlands, which is another low-level pack. But I'll be doing some of them, as every First Life character should. Cane of Crystal. So, here we go. Run this one.
Ahead is the cell
Island.
where the Caneth crystal is hidden.
Probably don't need to be having her out all the time, especially as a First Life running things on normal. It's a bit excessive, but we may as well anyway.
You can feel the life-saving heat emanating from the magic crystal Boldar spoke of. But from the shadows approach those who would doom Korthos by destroying it.
Where? So this is another typical quest. You protect something. If it breaks, you fail quest. It's pretty much one of the more common types. One of my least favorites. I say they're common, they're not really. You'll find them occasionally every other level. I skip them most of the time. As you can see, this doesn't require much skill or thought. You just kill things and get XP rewards. The quests grow in complexity a lot at later levels, so don't worry, it's not all just slapping things like this. I'm actually getting damage to the crystal. We can't check on its hit points, but if this was a person we're protecting, we could check up on it and maybe even heal them. Not possible with this. I might actually go and get my... No. Martial feats. I'm going to put Trip there and Sunder. That lets you trip enemies and whack them. It's an optional, I just do it. It fancies up combat a little bit. As you can see, the information's actually there as to what it does, but it's just nice to incorporate. So, oh, too good. As you can see, these skills have a cooldown, so you can only use them every so often before they need to be regenerated. So I think this is a 10-second wait, and this one's another 10-second wait, or less, I think, for Sunder. Cooldowns become important when you get into spell casting and that kind of stuff. Even then, you should have a large enough range of spells, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's quite simple. We've got one enemy left.
You have slain the last
XP reward.
cultist, thus protecting
No
the
chest.
Caneth crystal and saving Korthos.
Gotta love a quest with no chest. Didn't recall because the door was right there, there's no need. You do get a reward from this guy though. I mean, all the rewards of this level and from Korthos in particular are quite average. None of them are that important. We'll just get this because we can, and equip it because we can. Yeah, but they're not special. Next quest. We have Linus Ware. Alright, I'll bring the scroll. So again, you can follow your map to find the door, like that. Don't remember seeing these guys before. If you play as a second or third life character, or if you have VIP, I believe you can open adventures at any difficulty you want. As we're free to play, we don't have access to that. We have to play them on normal. Higher difficulties grant you more XP. I don't think I've mentioned that. And usually better rewards, like the loot will be scaled up a level or two. Generally as a first life we wouldn't really be running too many on Elite, but it would have been nice to have some hard settings, just for that small increase. You also get streaks. Play a certain number of quests on a high difficulty in a row and it'll grant you more XP for the next quest you play on that difficulty. Gonna ignore that barrel. You can pretty much just blitz through these quests. They're not going to require much thought. You don't have to do these either. There are plenty of quests in this game so that you never need to do a certain one. Some quests I highly recommend doing every life, but you certainly don't need to follow a schedule. Screw it. Find out what that was. It's dropping me a light wounds potion.
This appears to be the main storeroom. It seems the villagers have been preparing for a protracted siege.
Now there's a locked door downstairs, so you're going to smash these until you find a key. I'm smashing them anyway.
A silver key falls out of the crest.
Click that. Sometimes keys are hard to pick up.
From a hidden passage demanding the key. You mustn't let the scrolls fall into devourer hands.
There's a bonus chest, which I always like. Astute. Alright, perfect. We want more intelligence and we also want to be better at picking locks, so that is definitely useful. Enhancements get better as you level to scale with your overall stats, of course. Level 1 items, you really don't need to care what gear loadout you have unless you're running everything on Elite, and even then it's not that important at this level. As you level though, you want to keep an eye on what gear you have on and why. Some gear is just pointless to wear for a certain class. So, as a wizard slash rogue, I'm going to be looking for gear that focuses on my skills as well as my main stats. Okay, so we've got a Vandal bonus from smashing. We want to smash enough that we get the 15%, which we should do eventually. Right, there's the locked door.
The door swings open. It appears that the floor in this room can be moved and rotated.
Come on, give me my 15%. Yes, there we go. Now we've got our 15% ransack bonus. I do this in every quest. Some quests, apparently you can't access that, but yeah, pretty useful. So here you just want to light up all these sigils by rotating the puzzle pieces. This is a very common type of puzzle in the game. You can see you can't rotate these themselves, so you have to work around it. I didn't really need to move that one. Although this one needs to be here. Oof. Getting confused at this point is not a good sign of my intelligence. Okay, how can I make this work? We're gonna need... Ah, that was easier than I imagined.
The protective spell dissipates. All that remains now is to take and deliver the scroll.
Quest is done. I believe the front door is just there, so I just run out here. Oddly enough, there are breakables behind this barrier that you can't access. Alright, now we can turn in this quest. And doing these two quests will unlock a quest called the Collaborator, I believe, which is one of the main quests in this arc. Rugged Belt gives you +5 hit points, so we'll go for that.
Hero. It is on the people's lips as you walk by.
What was that?
Cautious
Oof.
looks have become friendly nods.
Difficult choice.
Then word comes that your presence is requested in the tavern.
Okay, so the next quest is in the Wavecrest Tavern. Talk to Sigmund Bierson. Oh, my bad. Okay, so we've got the Collaborator. This is one of the higher XP quests at this level. A good one to run. Anyhow, pop our hireling.
Your waiting bears fruit. This must be the Collaborator stepping in from the dark.
Can't tumble. I wonder why. Might be the armor I'm wearing. Eh.
Your stalwart defense gives the Sahagin pause, but you hear more of them gathering outside for a final assault. You notice a small chest hidden behind the bar.
I notice indeed. Oof. Inventory's filling up with gems at this point. Okie dokie. Oh, I missed completely. I certainly wouldn't claim to be a master of this game. It is such a complex game, and despite the fact I've been playing since 2012, I don't know everything, or probably even most of it. It's not to discourage you, but don't expect me to be the master oracle of wisdom.
He must have fled into the cellar.
Alright.
Drexelhand isn't here. However, webbed footprints on the ground betray the location. The chamber beyond the secret passage looks ancient, predating Korthos village.
If you can't tell, I have a thing for chests. Ah, that beautiful sound. Back here. Oi! There's our shrines, not that we need them. Another chest. They really spoil you for chests at these early levels. I might swap to this this weapon here. Yes, it's got curse spewing. Deadly. So every enhancement does different things. If you just spend some time reading them, you'll find out what each one does. Most of them are simple, some of them slightly more complex, but you'll also see with your weapons that there's just a general base damage rating, which is quite handy. I usually go off those, and as well as the critical rolls, you'll see next to that it says 18 to 20, which means I need to roll between an 18 or a 20 to get a critical hit. It's fairly standard. Your character will be proficient with different weapons depending on what class you're playing and that kind of thing. I believe some races have weapon proficiencies by default, like Dwarf has a Dwarven Axe proficiency, of course. There we go.
Drexelhand has nowhere left to run. Finish the job.
Drexelhand
Nice.
siding with the Sarhuagian would save his life.
Trip him. There we go. Oh, we've hit enough XP to level. Honestly, blitzed through that quicker than I thought. You should be at the same point if you're following along. That means we get to take our first level of wizard once we get out of here. So there we go. This is going to be handy because orbs are quite useful as any spellcaster. They're generally geared towards giving you enhancements that aid in spellcasting, better spell penetration, better spell power. Spell power is accessible here. Mine's terrible at the moment. Okay, and now we get to talk to Sigmund. Claim our reward. I'm a bit... Okay, this gives us plus 10 spell points. As I've already got a weapon, I'm going to go with the spell points.
Your victories have made the village much safer,
10
but
points.
only temporarily. It's time to take the fight to the Sahuagin, out in the wilds of Korthos Island.
Alright, well there are quite a lot more quests now open to us now that we've done that one. You can enter this Korthos Island wilderness area. Basically speaking, it's just a larger map, larger than any dungeon you'll find, that has enemies crawling all around it, and quest entrances will be in those wilderness areas, so sometimes you'll have to enter one to get to a quest. In those areas you'll have Slayer bonuses, which allow you to get XP for killing certain amounts of creatures. It's a good way to get your XP up, especially as a first life character. Now, we're ready to level, so what we're going to do is hunt down the wizard trainer. Haven't seen him for a while, so I'm going to have to find him. Believe the wizard trainer is up with these guys. Yes. Depending on what level you want to take, obviously you go to that certain trainer, so I want to take wizard. I'll talk to him. It's important you get this right. If you level into a class that you didn't mean to, I believe you'll have to pay to reverse that action. It's important you get these correct the first time. So here we go, we want to go to the next level, multi-class into wizard class. We say, yes, I wish to train with you. Okay, and you'll find level 2. We want to be focusing on wizard skills for this wizard level. We're going to want to put 3 points into concentration, and then we're going to want to find spellcraft and dump 2 into that. And finally, with our last 2 points, we're going to go to spot, which is here, and dump a point into that. Okay, and we also get to have a feat for this level. The feat I'd recommend is Maximize Spell at this level. This metamagic feats are something I'm going to have to explain in more detail, but basically they will do certain things to spells that you have to make them more powerful in certain ways. So Quicken will mean that you can cast that spell faster. Enlarge, Empower will mean that you do more damage, or there's more spell power behind those spells. Eschew Materials is useless, really. That just means that you don't have to use magic materials and components to cast spells. And Extend spells are for more like buffs if you want them to last longer. For this level we're going to do Maximize, which means our offensive spells are going to do more damage. As well as if we had healing spells, our healing spells would do better points of healing. So yep, we're going to go for Maximize as our feat. Now we also get our first spell. So for the first spell, difficult to recommend. I'm not sure what I'd choose at this level. I probably, at this point, would recommend... Most of these are fairly average. Chill Touch? We get that in our tree, so we don't need that. At this point I'm going to spend it probably poorly on Jump. That would be my choice. We're going to be spending a point on Master's Touch fairly soon, and that allows you to use any weapon proficiently. In fact, we might opt for that one first. That'll let us use great axes, great swords, whatever you want, which is very useful to start with. So yeah, we're going to go for that. We also get 6 more spells as a wizard, so it's tricky to pick, but we're basically going to go Jump, Mage Armor, Night Shield. So many to choose from, really. Doesn't exactly matter what you choose, as lots of these are useful. I'm going to go for Expeditious Retreat. That makes us run faster. We'll go for Flaming Bolt, I suppose. And Nyx's Cold Ray. We could go for Protection from Evil, actually. I feel like that's going to be more useful. See, this is the kind of thing I don't pre-think. No, we've got a good mixture of buffs as well as damaging spells. 2 damaging spells and some buffs. So we'll stick with those. That's Expeditious Retreat, Flaming Bolt, Jump, Mage Armor, Master's Touch. So we've got a good range there. And we've leveled. Now, at this point, you get to spend some of your enhancement points, which are quite useful. So for now, we're going to open up our enhancements. You can also talk to them, and you'll see where are our enhancements. Hold on a second, we might have to talk to this person. Oh, there we go. We need to cycle through. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this. So, we get to specialize. I'm going to go with Chill Touch in the Archmage tree. Okay, and then we're going to want to also spend... we're going to go Energy of the Scholar, probably. That'll give us some extra spell points at this level. That's quite useful. We're going to want to go Spell Critical, if we can. No, we can't at this point. Got 1 point left, so we'll swap this for Pellmaster. And we'll go Dark Reaping. This is, you'll have to invest in this to access the tree. But for now, we've got Chill Touch, we've got enhanced spell points, and we've got more negative spell power, so we'll go for these at this point. Then once you've done that, you can find all of your spells here. You'll be able to go and choose which ones you use when you go to a tavern. Skills there, enhancements. You click on this and you'll see what you've got. So now we have a spell we can cast. This is a spell-like ability, so any spells that you unlock when you're in your enhancement tree are spell-like abilities. They're not actual spells. But the great bonus to spell-like abilities is that you can add any of your enhancement metamagics you want, and it will not increase the cost of the spell whatsoever. So we put on Maximize Spell. This costs 2 points to use. Even maximized, you can set right click, always on. It will always cost 2 points, no matter how much you buff it up and make it more powerful. With regular spells, if you add metamagic, it will cost more points, as you can see here. 25 extra spell points, which is a lot, especially at this level. So spell-like abilities are really useful to use. I recommend them highly. We're going to run to the tavern so that we can pick our spells. The 3 that I'd recommend at this level. Okay, Wavecrest Tavern. As soon as you enter, you can hit C, go to your spells, and it will give you access to them. So right now, we're going to prioritize Master's Touch, Jump, useful, and we can go for... We've already got an offensive spell, so we're probably, or spell-like ability, we're probably going to go for Night Shield. So we've got these 3. These are all buffs. We'll stick that there. We've got Jump, Night Shield. Now at this point, you're going to want more than one window here. So if you expand it like this, you've now got extra windows. For our buffs, we're going to stick them here. We've got our offensive. We'll stick that there. That's an optional. I tend to go with attacks on one, buffs on the other, and then have another one entirely for weapons or potions that you've got stacked up. So all these really can go here. We don't need to sneak too much, and we've got the open lock. So that's how I laid mine out. How you do it is totally up to you. And I've already cast Night Shield on myself. You can see the spell effects are in the corner here. That will just that basically protects you from spells. It's a nice thing to have. I'm going to sell some of my items to get me money. Sell these because I can't use them. We've got a Vitality Robe. We might use that, swap it for our starter item. Sell our gems. There is just a simple sell gems button, but I've decided to do this for some reason. Pinches of fine sand, we'll keep that for now. Okay. And we're earning a fortune. Moldy quarterstaff. We don't need to do those because we're going to destroy them. Now, we've got an orb. This increases our sonic spell power, which isn't important at this point at all. We're barely going to have any sonic spells. We might have Sonic Blast, but it's the best we've got at the moment. Also got bonus to spell penetration, which is helpful. That'll make it harder for monsters to resist our spells. We're going to chuck on this robe and chuck our health pots there. Now, what do these require? Each spell will have a certain requirement of materials. This is somatic, so it doesn't need any components. This doesn't need components either, but jump does. Jump needs a pinch of fine sand, which we happen to have on us already from looting. We're going to want to go buy more of those though, so that we don't run out. When you run out, you will not be able to cast that spell anymore until you get extra. So you should be able to pick up those ingredients from a general vendor because they're so basic, hopefully. Yes, pinches of fine sand, and you can hit control and click on the thing you want to buy, and then you can enter in how much you want. So I'm going to see how much 200 costs. Barely anything. So what we're going to do is actually get far more than that. You're going to want these in the future anyway because you keep these spells for a long time. I'm just going to buy 900. And as you can see, it'll all sit in one nice pile in your inventory. Okay, well, now that we've done that, this is pretty much as far as I was planning to go with Korthos. In the next video I'll be exploring Keep on the Borderlands, which has a bunch of nice quests as well as some good loot from those quests. That is one of the packs you unlocked with your coupon code. This Korthos so far is entirely free to play. It's been free to play for as long as I can remember. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was also helpful. And if you tune in next time, I'll be navigating some different packs and finding some new spells. So thank you very much. I'll see you next time.